Spirit Talk episode 3. I might crochet a little and wait for Tommy to click on. If you're watching on the replay or on YouTube, thanks for joining us. We appreciate you guys being here.
Hi.
Hey.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's Wednesday.
I love that you crochet every
Well, I don't think I did that one episode, but I was like, I might crochet today. Last episode. So I was just saying that welcome to episode 3.
Oh, it's a terrible angle. Here, I'll try that. Maybe I'll just hold it.
What happened?
There. Is that fine? I want you to look at this painting. Was created by Tanya's daughter, Stacia. Isn't it beautiful?
Stacia made that painting.
Next to my children's artwork.
Love
the kids' artwork.
Yeah, this is perfect.
Hey, Robin.
Yeah, Robin's here. Thanks for joining. For some reason, there we are. I was wondering where your comment was. So if you guys are watching on replay or on YouTube, thanks for joining. We appreciate you being here. Last week we ended by saying we're going to talk about channeling. There seems to be a lot of, throughout the years, misperception about channeling. And today we're going to give you our 2 cents on channeling and what it's like for us. I think this is a heavy, intense conversation that needs to happen.
Yeah.
Due to we don't live in the 1600s anymore. Welcome to 2021, everybody. Where spirituality is a real thing. We are not witches standing at a stake looking at bowls and burning.
I mean, are we not witches though?
Right? Let's talk about that, okay? It's like always crazy. Let's just pick this up.
This is really how it goes. We'll be like, right? Actually, are we not?
Are we not? So there we go. I'm going to scoot me back. I'm like, we're all close and personal this morning. We're like, hey, guys.
Hey.
Good morning.
Wednesday.
So, it's funny because my grandma, so she's passed now 5 years. They used to go to channelers. If you know it, Cryon, Abraham Hicks. I know there's another one. I can't remember his name. I meant to write it down. There is a lot of, and especially, my eye's starting to twitch, with the near death, surviving death, the one that's just on Netflix. There's an episode, I think it's 2. I jumped over 2 and 3. I didn't watch 2 and 3 because I thought it was not good. So I skipped and watched 1, 4, 5 episode. I think it's trans, whatever. Anyway, hey, Eva.
I can't see anybody. Sorry if I'm not saying, hi, Eva. Okay, it popped up late.
And there's talking about different channeling. Back in the day, like when my grandma used to go, there was very much a merging and people would form and be very dramatic about channeling and scare the shit out of people that were watching, right? Let's be frank. So it had a bad taste in your mouth. You didn't like it. You didn't, it gave you the creepy jeebies. I want to talk a little bit about channeling and what this really means. Okay. It's funny. I'm going to use it as this, they're giving me this context. So when you come across, I always say, use your intuition and fill into it. But I also think it's important not to judge anybody from what past experience and what you've been told. Listen to the words, the emotions, the expression, the energy that comes out of the channeler and feel into it. Not every message is going to resonate, but there should be a type of movement or energy that moves you to say, wow, I really want to listen to this. If we're in a relationship with our husbands, how many times and you're like, oh my gosh, your people are like, you guys are so the same. You guys say the same thing right after each other. You're merging energies. So if you take a consciousness, okay, your consciousness, and you merge best friends oh my gosh, you guys are so much the same. You're saying the same thing. It's you guys are merging your energies. So it's the same as if you were doing that with archangels, masters, Jesus, Mother Mary, star seeds. It's the same idea. But because you can't physically see them or you're not introduced to somebody that's on the other side, it gets a little scary and creepy. Are you following?
Oh yeah. Yeah, 100%.
So it, like, if you're like, oh, you two are the same, it's because you can physically see them. But so channeling has became kind of, I want to say distaste is the best language I think is coming through, because everyone's like, what are they doing? That's something dark, demonic. Well, no.
Can I just clarify really quick in case who's listening? So the channeling that she's talking about is like where like your voice will change, right? Or light language will come out, like it's an actual
transmission.
Yeah. I was like, it's not like Tawnya changes, but she kind of does, right? Or people actually who channel, but it's an actual transmission coming out, not the channeling. And we can talk about that too, because like the channeling that I say that I channel is I'm really connected in, especially when I'm working with people one-on-one, I like become a channel, but it is still me and how it comes through. It's not, it still is a transmission, but it's not a transmission of like light language, or you guys have seen
personality and the energy of what you're channeling.
That's what I was just gonna say, because I'm in some of your channels, your voice will change or something, and I can tell exactly the energy that she has synced up with, and that's who's coming out. So I just wanted to clarify that point.
Thank you. And it's a lot of letting go and trusting on what is coming in and feeling your way into it. So, you know, they're going copycatters. How many times have we been in a forum and been like, hey girl, like, let's do that. It's the same concept. It's the same concept. But now we're actually moving in, merging, they're showing me a sponge, absorbing that energy, moving through us. So anytime somebody were to channel archangels, guides, spirit masters, the higher level of consciousness, it moves you energetically in a form, physically, emotionally, your light body, and it raises your vibration. This is why I've encouraged everyone, hey Marie, to get activated, get with it, get in meditation, call on your team, get absorbed in that energy, because what it does is it helps activate parts of your DNA. It opens up your clairs. It raises your vibration. Mm-hmm. And that's what, I don't know what that flash just was, but that's what we're trying to do is get to our light body. That's what we're trying to, you know, everybody says they're trying to reach in a state of enlightenment. Well, enlightenment is being in the moment, being aware of, being light, being full state of energy.
So you were going to talk about, that was really good, but you were going to talk about the misperception or the of
somebody comes into their body and goes, hello, I am. And it's like, so then it gets scary. Yes, people's expression will change, people's voice, like you were saying, may change, but it's not like something is taking over your body and doing something demonic. It is a energy exchange that coming and speaking of unconditional love. I'm not speaking for everybody, because maybe there's some whack jobs out there. Hello, we're in a, you know, how many people are in the world, and some people aren't of the highest vibration and not channeling unconditional love. I'm talking about the people who do. So they're bringing in a message, and it may tweak a little. How many times have we, and they keep showing me, and I want it to get a little clearer, they keep saying, like, fitting in a crowd. Go ahead, what do you say?
I was just going to say, so this kind of goes back to when you started to talk at the beginning of feeling, right? So when you're saying of the highest light, and then there's some that their vibration is off. And I'm trying to describe how I can tell the difference. I just know immediately the difference. If I'm hearing somebody who's doing a channel or a transmission, and it is not of the vibration I want to be with, I know immediately, right? And so I don't watch them, or I can shut it down, or I could say, you know, no, thank you. But it goes back to what Tawnya was saying.
Not resonate.
Wait, say it again.
It may
say
not.
It again.
I want to go to the step further. Spirit is saying with what you're saying, just because it may not align to you doesn't mean it's bad. They may just be on a different level of consciousness.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's that. And so I trust immediately how I feel, that it's just not a transmission that's for me.
Bingo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have to trust yourself. And that's another thing. And I'm actually glad you just brought that up, because there is such a like, oh, well, what they're saying, I don't align to, it feels negative. No, how do you know where they sit? How do you understand their level of consciousness? Maybe it's completely different than yours and mine. Maybe they're in a whole different playing field. That doesn't mean it's bad or it's dark. It just means that maybe you don't resonate with them. It's the same as business, jobs, relationships. There's so much, and it was funny because Phil Good had talked about it the other day, spiritual attack. There has been so many right now pissing on each other. People are like, oh, well, this is this, and you said this, and you're supposed to be right all the time. Way to give your power away. Way to spit on somebody else's truth. Like, that's a bunch of bullshit. So that's where it's like a little annoying that we're supposed to be this high vibrating community, but yet they're talking shit about each other behind the back or in front of their friends.
You're talking specifically in a spiritual community right now. Yeah.
Spiritual community. Yeah. And it's supposed to be, we're supposed to be loving and supporting each other, but yet they're talking crap behind each other's back. That's not love. That's not light. That's moving your vibration into egotistic mind. And that's what I'm really, and I've noticed it throughout the years, and I've kept my mouth shut for a long time. But when he said it, I was like, well done, because it is so ridiculous. They're like, well, you said this and it didn't come true. Okay, I didn't call myself a freaking prophet. Like, if I see things change constantly.
Well, it's because it does constantly shift, and it depends on people's free will and their choices, and even choices. The choices you make will change the path. It was something that you said the other day, right? Of like, all roads lead to our same place, right? But there's various roads. Yes. And somebody else's decision really could affect the trajectory of what you're on, right? And it's just, it's you knowing that. And I just want to say this too, because I know not everybody who's in here is just in spiritual community. But what she's talking about of this conversation that Phil Good had, I watched it as well because she shared it. And I was telling her afterwards, this was so much in corporate too. Like this, it's everywhere. It's when we were in high school. It's when we were in college. It's in friend groups. It's in court. It's literally, it's the same types of threads. And so regardless of where you're at, and I'm going to tell you, for myself, coming into this world, if you will, like 2017 is when I really started. I actually am really shocked at some of the stuff I see, and some of the, what's the word? I don't want to say backstabbing, but it kind of feels like that has taken place in a lot of these communities. And I personally was extremely shocked. I told Tawnya, she's like, oh yeah. This has been, I'm thinking, oh my gosh.
Well, and I agreed. And when it happened to me a few years ago, when one of the people who had been following me all of a sudden decided to jump on the track of decided to take followers, which I cannot stand that. That's the most stupidest phrase in the world. Like they're yours. Way to be egotistic. And then and talk bad, about me. And I'm like, we're supposed to love, uplift, and guide each other, but yet now it's a pissing match. Like, what? And I really had a conversation with angels, and I was like, this is supposed to be a safe space. We're supposed to all be here moving into the state of oneness, unconditional love. And I now have had my back stabbed on multiple times in this field. And people talk about me, which I find very funny that they think I can't hear them talk about me. I will say that. I said it before in a video, and I'm like, do you not get I'm intuitive? Like, I can actively hear you talking shit. Like, it's fucking amazing. But anyway, and I'm like, really? Like, where is this going? And this is what they said to me. It's a level of consciousness. They're understanding, and they're not evolving. So just like you mentioned in corporate, this is what used to work for them. Talking about other people, being the chameleon, being a people pleaser, trying to say, oh, let me do this because of this. And this cattiness, they jump from one arena to the other. You have to make an active choice to do better. You have to physically want to change your patterns and level up. You have to do it. It's just like a workout. You have to literally stop your brain, your process, and do it. Meditation helps with that, but you have to also be like, oh,
it's a conscious, yeah, and in the moment.
Yep.
In the moment.
Absolutely. So that's about channeling.
We kind of went from that channeling to this, but it's because it's all related.
Right? It's the same thing. You're talking about channeling. It's about talking down. Well, they're experiencing something, and now you're placing judgment. So what you came here not to do is judge somebody else's. And we're all guilty of it. Okay. And then you have to stop yourself and say, well, you know what? That's not my place to judge. They're here to experience their own life lessons. And I have to constantly put myself back in that. And I talked about,
you know what? It's so good that you say that. I'm just in these last few weeks, I'll say, really bringing that to your conscious, like it'll happen. And even with my own kids, where I feel like, I mean, they're young right now. I don't want to say control because it's not control, but they'll do things. And I have to think like they are here for their own experience too. This is not me. And, I don't know, it's this dance, and I'm learning it too with my husband, with friends, same thing. Yeah, that's true, Marie. The judgment of others is really a judgment of yourself. Exactly. He says, yes, or something in there. But going back to their experience and mine too. Even for me, I'll notice not doing something or doing something and why, and I'm questioning, and it really is all of our experience here, and constantly bringing it back to that. It really does change for me personally, my perspective on many things and people.
I love it. Especially when we, even as friends to friends, give each other advice. Their experience may be different than ours. I have a teenager, and of course I'm wanting to tell her, listen, I made those mistakes. I did that, been there, done that. Don't do it. But yet I know that she's got to learn through her own trials and errors, and she's got to learn through her, whatever she chose to do. It's very hard for parents to want their children to make hard lessons and experiences, have them go through experiences, because we want to save and we think our children are ours.
Yeah. But it's the same thing with parents too. I'm going to say this with my parents.
Oof.
They're making some decisions
that you're like, really, Mom?
That I'm like, wow. Okay. Oh, my leg is going.
My mom doesn't watch my shows.
My mom don't know how to get on YouTube. But some of the things, and I'll talk to her and I feel like, what the heck is going on? And I still love her, and I'm like, okay. And some of the things is really heartbreaking. Some decisions that I think she could make, right? And the long-term effect of that is really heartbreaking, but it's not my life.
Yep. And I keep check yourself as soon as you start trying to, and I'm guilty. Shit, I'm really guilty of this one. So that's why I'm always like, shut up, Tawnya. They didn't ask for your advice. Run up! Not my lesson, not my monkey, not my circus. Where's my scissors?
Or I'll try and say something, right? And they will ask, right? And we'll talk through it. But then they make a completely different decision. And then it's months later, they come back. And me trying to be like, I told you so.
Yes.
Not saying that, right?
Yes.
like, and then sometimes myself, my human self, want to be like, I tried to tell you,
I know. And then that sucks because it's like they needed to find out. Oh, I'm super guilty of that one, especially when they come and pay for me for a reading. That's my brand new dress. I'm on a video live if you want to come on.
Is that Stacia?
We are on a video live.
We're on YouTube live and Facebook.
I would let her show you this dress, but it's my dress and she can't wear my dress. That's really bad. Oh, I'm having a little pain. My dress. You're just looking better than I am. Oh, no judgment.
That'll just tell you how cute Tawnya is. For 16-year-old can wear her dress.
What? Go ahead. She wants to show you her dress. Yeah.
I want to see.
16. Yes, that's my dress.
Oh,
that's
my gosh, Stacia. You look so beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, that's my dress. Okay. Lovely.
That's like a
it's a
50s
looking
style.
dress.
Oh, it's so cute.
Either on this one.
Okay, whatever. We'll talk about this later. We're having our celebration dinner, Sweet 16. It's happening on Sunday, but tomorrow night's the dinner. She's like, I want to wear this dress. I'm like, of course you.
Yes, of course you. Yes, celebrate, dress up.
Anyway, what the heck were we talking about? Kids, not ours. Thanks, Maria.
Oh, the parents. When you were saying when people pay and do readings and what you.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
I know where you're going with this.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they're like, well, I should. And I'm like, it's okay. Woosah. So
I think sometimes we can see it so clearly, and which is the whole point, right? That's the whole point, that they like sometimes we can see things so clearly, but they are really not ready to hear it yet. So I'll have that with some sessions too. And the difference, I think, with me and you, Tawnya, you'll say all of it, which is great, right? Like you'll say all of it. Sometimes I see and I'm like, oh, they're not ready to hear this yet. Well, actually, I don't want to say that. That's not true, because you do hold back. I know. Okay. I was like stopping myself right as I said it. But sometimes I'll see something so clearly and they don't. And so it's like, oh, depending on how long we have to work together, the goal is to like get them to get to it's not even get them. It's when they start to realize it themselves. And then you can like share all of it, because that's when it solidifies. That's when it like clicks really for them of what it is. But sometimes when I start working with somebody at the beginning, I can see it so clearly. And that's when I really lean into spirit. I mean, talk about being a channel, right? That's when I really lean into spirit to say, okay, like, give me the words. What is it? What do we talk about? What my leg is going off. Like, what is the path that I can walk with them to get them to there, you know?
Exactly. And I love that, because I lean into spirit. There's sometimes people ask me and I'm like, I don't know. Let's find out. Mm-hmm. So then you have to listen. You got to be the channel to find out, to be the clear channel. Listen, it's important. And I think especially to say when you don't know and say, all right, I don't know either. Let's check it out. Like,
yeah. Well, I try it. Also, it's not us. It's not me. For one, each person has their best answers and really what is best for them at the moment, where like they have it all. So to me, to interject it, and a lot of, I'll say coaches and stuff, they do that, right? They'll interject their humanness, I'll call it, right? Or their thoughts or whatever.
I'm like, because I'm doing go on this, like.
We're like, oh, this is how it is, everybody. When we talk, it's like this, exactly like this. But, and it's so much, and I think that, I'm not judging. What I'm feeling is the people that go into their atmosphere is that's what they need at that time, and they either come to the realization or they don't, and that's their path, right? But I don't know. I just like I lost whatever we were talking about. Oh, leaning into spirit. That's right. It's like I don't have the answers for you. I can really feel it. I can show you what I'm seeing. I can tell you what I'm hearing. Share all of that, which 9 times out of 10 resonates way more with you than with me.
They already know it. They already know it. And then they're like, I just need a conversation. It's like, I'm not really telling you something you don't already know. No.
But sometimes they need that lighthouse. And that's really how I see it. Is just sometimes I hold a vision, or I hold something to like stay focused to walk towards, but it's your journey.
Yes.
It's your journey.
100%. And that's what I love about this, because we all need a little help. We all need like that support, that guidance. Even if one thing came out that they needed to hear, that's what makes it worth it.
Yeah, exactly. Marie. Yep.
And that's what I like how Maria just said that, because she said experience that each may need. That's why I love doing the channeling and the no matter what is said, because the energy that comes out of it is an experience, and it's awesome. Yeah.
I don't say this for you. I'm really saying for you specifically in some of your deeper channels. Sometimes I don't even hear you, but I get the transmission. Like I get the transmission. It goes and I really open, and
I've noticed that with super intuitive people, they won't even hear me. They'll be on their own experience, which is awesome. Thank you, Marie. And that's where, because then they get to find their own journey, and spirit will take them where they need to go.
Yeah. Yeah. But you hold the space and you hold
Yep.
that. I'm going to say a container, and I say container without using the word container as being restrictive, because container could kind of sound restrictive, but it's not. It's this space and this, I don't know, I'll think of a different word than container because it's not restrictive, but yeah.
Looking for scissors. Done.
Beautiful.
I'm making a blanket, a flower.
I can't wait to see it.
I don't know where my scissors went though. And I think that is, and especially if you can find anyone that can hold that type of container, that type of space, energetic space, to move you to receive your own messages, receive the energy, the guidance that you need, no matter what the person may be doing, it's perfect.
Yes, exactly, Marie.
Yes.
That's
and
it.
that's what we're all looking for, is can somebody, and I love like doing that. I haven't found many.
I was just gonna say, there's only,
That's just for me
maybe one.
with spirit. I'm not, it's a thing. But we're not gonna, that's another show. But if you can find people like that to hold that for you, to kind of be like, yeah, I needed that. That's, that's super powerful. It's great.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
That
So
is for another show.
What we want to talk about with channeling is, maybe don't, what is that saying that you say, Tommy? Don't throw the bath without the bath water. What did you say?
Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Yes, love it. Marie's like, I'll listen to my guidance. I love it. Yes, and that's how it is with channeling. So maybe if you've had a prior programming that somebody told you that this is bad, maybe push that to the side and maybe experience, kind of like just Marie said, like experience what comes through, experience the energy, experience the love, experience something that may happen for you. So come in with an open mind and ready to, a heartfelt open mind. Spirit saying, you can be skeptic, but energy doesn't lie. So
it is so true. It is so true.
Not.
Energy won't lie. You'll know. You'll feel it.
You can, yeah. And energy doesn't lie. So it doesn't matter what they may be doing. You can feel it. Just like when you walk in a room and you know that somebody is sad or had a hard day, or that somebody's pissed off. Energy doesn't lie. So what time do we
That's another show too, of how we can talk about that. Right? It's already been a half hour. So fast.
It has?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. And that's the thing, Marie. Everyone talking about that. Nobody wants to feel. They're afraid to feel.
That's another show too. Okay, we have like 4 other topics now.
I know. I can't. Well, it's already been a half hour. I want to keep it short so people can. Yeah. Maria, thanks for your input. We love the communication. We know it's a wacky time for everybody. So if you're watching on replay, we appreciate you being here. Yes, we are feelers too. Feel it, feel it, feel it.
Yep.
Thanks for being here and engaging and connecting with us. What are we going to talk about next week?
I don't know.
Maybe feeling. Maybe we'll get with Marie's thing and talk about feeling.
Good morning, Jessica.
Hey, Jessica, you have to watch the replays. We're almost off here. Let's talk about feeling. Yes. We love you too. I think let's go off Marie's comment. Let's talk about feeling.
Let's do it.
So
let's talk about our feelings.
Feeling. See, Jessica just said feeling is tough. See?
I know.
It's on.
There we go. Here we go.
So
all right.
About that next week. Next week, join us next week. We're going to talk about feelings inspired by Marie's comments. Yes. We're bouncing on into next week. I'm glad you'll be there. Invite your friends. If you guys don't have Facebook where this is and you're not a part of the group, definitely check us out. If you're here watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button so you get notified every time we post a video. Tell your friends, shoot over to YouTube. We never know what's going on with Facebook, so if not, maybe we'll bring it on over there. Thank you for joining us. We love you. Thanks for interacting, and we'll see you next week.
Love you. Bye.